Alright, so this is where I'm currently at. I got one leg fully complete. This one is almost complete. I gotta add 2 more layers to this one and it'll be done. But I'm gonna be doing that when I wake up later today or tomorrow, depending on when I actually wake up. Simply put, I got to this point here. I had to do some things around the house. And of course, I'm now really tired. I've actually been up since, I believe, 6 p.m. yesterday. And it's going 10 a.m. today. So I've been up for a very long time. So I'm tired. I'm going to just finish the rest of the leg up tomorrow. And then I can also actually start the why am I having such a hard time remembering Cortana's name? But I should be able to start a good chunk of the rest of Cortana tomorrow. Or again later today. Most likely what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to finish up the whole upper body of Cortana. That way, so hopefully this video will be a little more shorter than the initial video I was actually going to edit together. And of course, when it comes to the actual superstructures and everything else, more or less the same like every other character. Though one thing I'll say for certain, I had to do a lot more cutting to get the wooden dowel to properly seat itself right in this leg, and even with the current, even with the wooden dowel in the current position, it's still not correct. But hopefully, due to the way the angle of the legs fit inside each other and whatnot, this wooden dowel at this angle will work. But I doubt it's almost likely I have to cut it again. And I do have an extra spare wooden dowel right here that I can use to more properly mount it. Which is probably what I'm going to, I'm just going to end up doing another custom mounting job. Yay, more freaking whatever. As you can tell, my inability to speak is basically my ability to speak is non-existent, and I'm going to go to bed. At least I had a few VTubers to watch as I was building these things out, because it gets pretty tedious to build these things, and rest in peace, Muna. Alright, so I'm finishing up the last leg, and I want to pop in for a quick second to show the amount of reinforcements I had to do on this leg right here. And that's because I had to do multiple cuts on the wooden dowel to get it to fit right. And every single time I had a cut to the wooden dowel, I reduced the leg's overall strength. So I had to spend a good maybe 15 to 20 minutes just reinforcing the whole joint of where everything connects. That way, so when pressure is actually put down on the leg doesn't collapse on itself. So I probably got like another stick or two to add, and then I'll just add more hot glue. And then once that's done, then I can add the last 2 layers, and then I can start working on the pelvis area and whatnot. So connecting all those, so connecting the legs to the pelvis area is going to be fun, especially with this one here, because I got to figure out how far up the heel actually goes from the floor and whatnot. I think I have an idea of how to figure that out, but I need to get into Blender, and I gotta remember how to work Blender. But what I'm trying to do, I think I remember how to do it, but we'll wait and see. Alright, got both legs attached, and I'm currently in the process of building the upper portions of gosh dang it, why do I keep forgetting her name? Cortana. So, one of the major issues I've been currently having with this model is making sure the feet are proper spacing apart and whatnot. If I knew how to more properly work Blender, I would have made a custom bracket that allowed me to more precisely place the feet and whatnot. But since that's far outside my Blender skills, I had to just eyeball it. Luckily though, I can also use these right here, these formers, to get a more proper idea. Like if I have a harder time trying to get little areas to connect, I need to cut, and I need to either widen or shorten the spacing on the feet. But I think I got the spacing more or less correct, because I've already am now on like layer 2, and usually the first layer is not that good, and the second one tends to be a little bit more accurate, and the third one should be the one to let me know if I have the actual spacing proper and whatnot. Also, another thing to note is I burned myself. Granted, you really can't see it, but you can kind of see it right there. So That's going to be fun in probably like 12 hours or so. I can already see it starting to puss up. So, yeah. Unfortunately, this hot glue gun didn't tell me what temperature it's at, but it's a lot more hotter than the ones I normally get from Walmart. So I gotta remember to wait a few more seconds before I wipe off gobs of hot glue. That way so I don't burn out myself. But this hot glue gun does work. It just requires a lot more force to actually make hot glue and whatnot, or at least get the hot glue to come out of the tip. So I will be getting myself another hot glue gun from Walmart, and I'll just be using this one as a backup. This is a good hot glue gun, but compared to the Walmart ones, i.e. the Arttech or A-Tech or how you pronounce it, this one's just not as good. Or at least it's not suitable for my needs, especially considering I just burned the shit out of myself and it's starting to really hurt. So I'm going to put some ice on it. Alright, doing my daily routine. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of her done today. I only been up for a few hours and I'm wanting to be lazy. Also, I'm getting my Mac Mini here set up again because I'm trying to use it as a streaming box. The original reason why I bought this thing in the first place. And that's because my Chromecast, I just don't like using it. It has constant disconnection issues and generally overall it's just slow. So I'm hoping to get this Mac Mini all set up again and use that for streaming. But I'm going to rant for a quick second. Mac OS is a pain in the ass when it comes to formatting a hard drive. Instead of like Windows saying, hey dumbass, format the hard drive to a different format type and then you can install Windows, Mac OS goes, hey dumbass, it just errors out. Alright, so I've only been up for a few hours. I'm still doing my normal lazy routine of just being lazy for a few hours before I start working on a Cortana. Also, with that said, I am actually doing something. I'm getting my Mac Mini here set up again for streaming purposes. And that's because my Chromecast, it's slow and it has random disconnection issues. And I'm hoping this Mac Mini here will be a lot more powerful. It should actually be a heck ton more powerful. But with that said, formatting a hard drive in macOS is a pain in the ass. Compared to Windows, with Windows it'll say, hey dumbass, format the hard drive to a different format type, and then you can install Windows. macOS, on the other hand, is, oh no, I had an error, here's a line of code. Instead of just saying, hey dumbass, format the hard drive to a different format type. I had to fucking Google multiple pages to figure that out. And I finally figured it out. It only took me about 30 minutes to an hour of constant researching to figure out, just go to view all, change it to all disks, and then format the main disk. macOS for as nice as macOS is, it can be so fucking retarded. I even think Linux lets you know, hey dumbass, format to a different hard drive type. macOS, it just spits out a bunch of random numbers at you. So that's my rant for now. I'll come back when I get more of gosh dang it, Cortana put together. I don't know why I keep forgetting how to say Cortana's name. I guess I'm stupid. Alright, it took a little while, but I finally got the whole lower torso for Cortana put together. Now I gotta do the upper torso. Now the way I'm designing her right now is I have her splitting apart right here. That way so I can take her to like local anime conventions and whatnot, because well, I think I can jam her inside my car since she's only like 5'5". But if I can have her split in half, it'll make jamming her in the car a lot more easier because I gotta work with two pieces that are significantly smaller than a full life-size Cortana. This is something I do on all my models. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm fairly sure I'm going to be having a few Halo fans seeing this video for the first time, let alone seeing the process I usually go through to build one of these things, so I gotta explain it here and there. But yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up the upper torso on Papercraft and come back. Also, I don't know how well it's going to be coming off on camera, but this corner piece right here is under a lot of tension. I had to fight the paper quite a bit to finally get it to go into its actual place here. So when I go to actually add in the reinforcements over to the upper piece here, I'm going to have to add braces to the former, so the actual sheets of paper don't just crunch into themselves and whatnot, especially on this side here. And I'm going to do extra work on this side here and this side here to make sure that when I do finally remove this former piece and it all being held together by the popsicle sticks, that the popsicle sticks over time don't crunch. But considering how I'm building this thing, I'll be able to most likely attach the pole thing that I'm going to be using to insert the upper portion of the upper body of Cortana in. And I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to I'm going to put a little bracer piece here and probably a little bracer piece there. That way, so these sections don't collapse on themselves. This one's going to be one of the more harder ones to work with compared to like the other ones like Mid-May, Freya, Shirley, and whatnot, because again, this part here is under so much stress. So yeah. Alright, so I tried as hard as I could to get to where the split right here melds correctly when I split her apart. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that, and that's just due to the amount of stresses that was going on right here, and also on the back right here. There's just so much stress that no matter what I do, it never properly melds, even by adding these little pieces right here to try and hide the gap. So what I did is I just basically hot glued this section to the lower body, and I'm going to have her split right here this time around, which will still allow me to stick her into one of my parents' cars for transporting her to my local conventions. I don't think I'll be taking her to the convention in June, but it's like a couple months away, so I have a lot more time to figure out what I'm actually taking. I know for a fact I'm taking Congo with me because I have yet to actually take her to my convention in her newer revised form, but I do want to take Cortana with me. So Cortana will most likely be the fall/winter convention, because I'm only going to be at the anime con for one day. And let's see, does Patty want in my room? I don't know if you were able to hear her or not. Do you want in my room? Do you want in my room? Well, are you just going to sit there and look stupid? You're just going to sit there and look stupid. Cats are weird. So, with that said, I still gotta do a little bit more reinforcements, like right around here and whatnot, to make sure these don't bevel up and down yet. Well, actually, what I need to do is I need to build the top section here and see how they meld. And then once I see how they meld, then I'll go and more properly secure everything down. And then once I figure out how everything melts and everything melts as the way I hope they do, I'm going to remove this little bracer right here after I get done with all the reinforcements. And then I'm going to go and actually add the tube that I use for the wooden dowels and whatnot that actually I use for. That cat is making a lot of noise, and I'm tired, and I'm having a hard time thinking. Patty, you're annoying. Now, are you going to come in my room, or are you just going to sit there and be annoying? Patty? Liz? Patty? think I know exactly what this dumb cat wants. And apparently she wanted that. Now we have a water fountain for the cats, and yet they don't use it at all. They want to use this right here. So as I was trying to say, once I make sure the top section I'm going to be building later tomorrow melts properly, then I'm going to go more properly reinforce everything, remove this structure piece here, and then I'm going to actually add the PVC pipe to hold the wooden dowel and whatnot, because when it comes to mounting the two parts, I use a wooden dowel right in the middle, or generally in the middle, as a structural piece to help properly align everything and give it a nice sturdy backbone. So once I get all that done, I gotta figure out, do I want to use some small rare earth magnets to help align this section, or if it's gonna just or if it's just gonna slot in place. I'm thinking it's gonna slot in place due to the amount of ridging and whatnot, just generally how geometrically unique this section right here is. So I don't think I need to do I don't think I'll need rare earth magnets, but I actually have some, I believe, right here. Now these are big rare earth magnets, but they're actually fairly thin, so they're not that strong. So if I end up using them, I'm not going to be putting too much load, and if I was going to use them, I'll just be using them somewhere like right here, so just to maintain them, or just to maintain the connection between the upper and lower halves. So with this video going on as long as it has, granted I didn't really need to record the cat bit, but still, I'm going to actually end the video here and upload it as is, and tomorrow, or whenever I start recording the next day, will be me trying to mount trying to get the upper section here to properly mate with the lower section here and whatnot.